おじさんみたいな子、その辺にたくさんいるしさ。
Can't argue against that. This week, we opened with the foreclosure task force making their way to the aquarium, which seemed a little out of place in the middle of a desert. Regardless, each girl had their own priorities of what they wanted to see first. Oh, come on, she just appreciates the classics. Anyway, like most kids on a field trip, they were a rambunctious bunch who needed organization, which they really weren't going to get from their enabler teacher. Thus, it again fell on their laid-back senpai to fascinate them with fish facts.
本当に息を止めて水中に潜ってるのもいるけどね。そもそもクジラは魚じゃなくて。
And yet, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will still classify them as fish types. Though she did lose points for failing to point out how jellyfish make for good AMV material. She also ended up starting the biggest argument of the day when she got into it with Seika over whether the fish looked cute or tasty. And kind of ironically, the cat girl was the vegan in this argument, which, yeah, I really don't have much of an opinion. Say, Tom, do you have one? Well, there you go. And sure enough, everyone besides Seika was saying that they should be eating the fish that you normally wouldn't see on the sushi menu, usually for good reasons. Thus, she had to turn to Sensei, who gave the most harem-y of harem protagonist answers ever. Later, the Hoshino Central talks continue with the girls comparing their senpai to other animals in the aquarium.
ペンギンでしょうか。似てる？
Well, as long as it doesn't involve a drama of penguins of some sort. In turn, Hoshino ended up comparing Shirko with Dolphins, which, in terms of abilities, yeah, that's a fair comparison, but for personality... Yeah, even when she's robbing banks, she's still a bare mammal. On that note though, Shiroko ended up comparing Hoshino with the big mammal they were just talking about, the whale. Obviously not in terms of physical size, but I would argue she does have the presence of one whenever she enters the scene, as even Shiroko pointed out there was a lot more to her that she was letting on.
奥にいても全体が見えないとこずっと息を止めてるところ。
Yep, Shiroko was able to pick up that Hoshino was keeping a lot of stuff to herself, and as both her friend and admirer, who she had helped in the past, she couldn't stand this, as not only did it feel like she didn't trust her, but as kind of cleverly and beautifully symbolized with the aquarium in the background, she was suffocating herself under her many lies and secrets. This is just an absolutely amazing scene, especially with the animation on Hoshino's spirit animal.
そういうシロコちゃんのこと。 おじさま大好きだよ。
Then again, maybe her true spirit animal is this specimen. Later, at the gift shop, Shiroko managed to find a copy of the dolphin ornament that the crows had broken, and yeah, based on the events of this episode, I'm just gonna bet it's gonna be broken again by next week. Still, they did need to buy the thing first, which they couldn't do with their school's budget, but...
そこは心配しなくてもいいでしょう。ね、先生。
Better get out that there sugar there, daddy. Afterwards, they tried to take a group picture, but I guess no one brought a selfie stick, so Sensei was seemingly going to be left out until a couple of tutorial girls showed up. Yeah, thanks to commenters for clarifying that the scene from that second episode wasn't from the previous timeline, and what it actually was in the original game. And I gotta say, I really like these girls' design, especially their coats and halos. Gives a cool cyberpunk vibe to them, and it is interesting that their halos are physical objects rather than rings of light like the other characters. Here's hoping we get to see more of them this season. Also, good god, did Hoshino make Sensei buy them all dolphins? Yeah girl, I'm not sure if your mysterious big boob senpai would approve. If anything, it just adds to y'all's death flags, which they really piled on in this episode.
次は本当の海なんていいかもしれませんね。川ダイビングとかしてみたいな。
Wow, y'all are so screwed. To make things even more complicated, Shiroko managed to spot Hoshino seemingly in the back of a Kaiser Corp car, likely to go see the anti-spiral again. Understandably, getting tired of all of her senpai's secrets and lies again, Shiroko tried to more aggressively confront her about it. This resulted in her finding her transfer papers. Now, granted, Shiroko might have been prying a little too much here, so it was good that she at least tried to keep things between the two of them, but Sensei and Nonomi ended up asking a few questions. However, in the end, Hoshino left without explaining anything, as the episode ended with the anti-spiral seemingly just kind of knowing that she was going to make her final decision soon, and Sensei offering to look into things for Shiroko. Well, I think we can all at least call this the prelude to the shit hitting the fan. While I have actually been enjoying some of the slower paced, character-focused stories we've gotten so far, I also do think we're pretty overdue for things to start going down, which this episode very nicely paid off in several areas. Obviously, there's still a lot of hammers that need to be dropped, but still, this is the kind of cute anime girl drama that I like to see, especially when it involves characters like Hoshino. I think what I've really come to like about this pink lowly president is how, while she is a mysterious character, it's never to a frustrating or unjustified degree. Like, whenever you have a character who's clearly hiding something, it can become frustrating when they don't just tell the truth, especially if it leads to things needlessly going sideways when they did need to. In Hoshino's case, there are clear reasons why she's hiding her dealings with the anti-spiral. One, it seems like it's a massive conspiracy that will likely pull all of her friends into danger, and two, she just wants them to enjoy what could be their final times together as the foreclosure of their school seems inevitable. It's why she constantly puts on the lazy facade in the hopes of putting everyone at ease. Ironically though, overusing it did lead to it having the opposite effect on Shiroko, as it became clear that it was just an act. Their conflict was really well done with some gorgeous scenes and some great verbal exchanges. The visual storytelling through just little actions like their eyes or hands moving were really well laid out. You could very much cut their tension with a knife as it was getting that intense. Granted, some of it was a little too choreographed, like when they really started hammering home how much they had fun at the aquarium, you know something is going to go wrong soon. Still, that's really nothing when there was also a lot of other things going on in the background, including the return of those girls from the prologue. And overall, I just really liked this episode for its great direction, beautiful imagery, and spot-on character work. I guess it's only appropriate that Shiroko and Hoshino are dolphin and whale respectively, because usually those sea mammals don't get along too well, but maybe they can work things out? Thank you as always for watching, and be sure to check out some of our other videos on this channel. The next part of our Max Heart series review should hopefully be out soon, plus we are looking into covering some new anime for the summer season. Still to look forward to it. Until then though, for now my friends, and hold on. Yes? Ew, who put this fish head on my porch?